Folks, today's video is going to be about survival kit in a can. My name's Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. So it was Father's Day recently. My kids got me this for Father's Day, just to pretty much because they knew I would make a video about it and they thought it'd be cool. And so let's take a look at it. This is pretty popular and it's kind of a sealed up sardine can kind of deal. Let's just see what's in here and if anything in here works and how well it works. Okay, before we take a look at this, I got to start by saying, look, I think you're not going to have everything you need in here. There's no way. But if it could have some pretty useful stuff in it. But so this thing's about 10 to 12 bucks, 10 to 13 bucks. So it's not crazy expensive. Anyway, now let's take a look at it. Okay, we're going to open it together. Just for the heck of it. So you open this thing up. It's got a list on back of everything that's in it. Kind of stuff. Apparently it's got some food in it because it's got nutrition facts. Could be sardines. So let's see what we have here. All right, so let's see what we got in here first off the bat. Might want to watch out. Might wind up with a little bit of first aid requirement there. Slice yourself on that. So the first thing we've got is some duct tape. And that's going to be about a foot of duct tape on a little wax paper backing. So let's see how if this stuff's any good or not. And it feels like pretty decent duct tape. So we'll give it an A for the duct tape. It has a packet of chicken bouillon soup, and this is made in Canada. So it's got the first ingredient on here is corn syrup solids, which I'm not real big on, but corn syrup solids, salt, hydrolyzed soy, corn, wheat protein, monosodium glutamate, mechanically separated cooked chicken, chicken fat, blah, 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 blah. And a bunch of 8s and disodium nosonates and hydrogenated soybean oil, and probably not considered organic, but it might give you some flavor to some water, and it might even have a little nutrition in it. Actually, the nutrition pack says this thing has, if you look at the nutritional value of what's in here, I don't know if you can see that. Let's get it right there where you can see it. Basically, it's got a bunch of zeros on it. It's 10 calories for the bouillon soup, 2 grams of carbohydrates, 720 milligrams of sodium, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and everything else. So pretty much it's salt. Just being straight. All right, so we have a little plastic bag here. Okay, a little Ziploc baggie for maybe water collection or whatever. Not a freezer bag, but it's a baggie. So there's a container of some sorts for collecting water or whatever else you need. A book of paper matches. Not too thrilled about that, but I guess they'll be waterproof at least the first time you use them when you open up the bag. And okay, so they work. Matches work. Book of paper matches. We have one packet of tea for making tea. We have some sewing thread here and very, very thin thread. Let's see how tough it is so I can break it. It's pretty strong. I mean, I'm cutting my fingers off here, so that's not good. So pretty strong thread. I don't know how many feet it is. Let's see if it says how many feet it is. 9 foot 8 feet, 9.8 feet of multi-purpose cord, they calling it. So I'd say it's pretty strong stuff here. You could probably use this for fishing line. You could use it for snares or traps or anything you need cord for. So that's a pretty decent little cordage there. Rolled up pretty tight. Got a single edge razor blade, which is not going to be very much for doing any major woodwork, and we're not going to open this up because I'm prone to cut myself if I do, but as far as for either medical uses, first aid uses, skinning an animal, you need to skin an animal, this is going to be very helpful. You could use this for skinning small animals and stuff, so I'd say that's a good thing to have in there. What's we got? We've got some brass wire, and it says this is, how long of wire we got here? 3 foot of multi-purpose wire, so I guess you could use this for snares, whatever else you want. So that's a pretty good little item there. I'll give it for that one. We have a piece of chewing gum, double bubble. I guess that's just for fun, and maybe you get a little sugar rush out of it. Another little piece of hard candy, so another little bit of sugar, which for a little energy, that's okay. We have a very small whistle with a star on it, and this holds your ears. Okay, it works. It's kind of hard plastic, so this is not going to be like, it's going to be breakable. If you crunch this, it's going to crunch, but it'll work. And we have some more multi-purpose cords. So I don't know which one was which. I think the little one was, anyway, sewing line, fishing sewing line. This is a multi-purpose cord. So the fishing sewing line is 101 feet. On the little blue reel is 101 feet. And this is 9.8 feet of multi-purpose cord. And it's held together with a little bread tie, as you can see. So that could come in handy for something too. A compass, which seems to be liquid filled maybe. It's very small, but it's going to give you general direction. And I'm looking at it now, and it's accurate. It's pretty close to accurate. I mean, it's pointing north that way, and north is definitely that way. So got a little compass, little fire starters here. We're going to check one of these out and see how well it works in just a minute. A little pen, or pencil, I'm sorry, a little pencil with a clip on it that you can clip on things. So that's pretty handy, I guess. You can leave notes or whatever for people to follow if you're lost. We've got, ooh, watch out. A big safety pin, pretty good size, maybe about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, and a small safety pin, 1 inch, so 2 safety pins. We have a packet of sugar, because you can never have too much sugar. But I think this is for the tea maybe, but anyway, you're going to get some energy out of that. We have some waterproofed, let's see, how many we got? We have 4 waterproof strike anywhere matches. So those are pretty good, I think. We're going to try one of those in a minute, see if it really strikes anywhere. A pretty large sewing needle, see if you can see that, with a pretty large eye that I believe we'll try to see if this thread will go in there. Let's just try it right now while we're here. And we'll check it. You're getting a good check on my eyes too, because, okay. Okay, so the thread goes through the needle, if you can see that. Can you see it? Hopefully you can see it. The thread goes through the needle. So that, anyway, it works. So we'll give that a go. We have 2 alcohol prep pads, which are both for first aid and can be used as a fire starter also. I'm sure you're aware of that. Another couple of bread ties, which are kind of handy for keeping stuff together. We have a couple survival tips for the outdoors, and it's got some signals, some first aid. It's really tiny writing, but you can read it. It tells you what to do for some first aid stuff and shelters. Very basic stuff. Again, I would recommend anytime you see something like this, read that stuff if you don't know beforehand. But you're not going to be able to read it beforehand if it's sealed up in here. So make sure you got those skills in your repertoire already. But this makes a fire starter if nothing else. Got a few pieces of paper to write on, writing paper. 2 Band-Aids. A piece of reflective tape maybe, or just reflective. I don't know if it's tape or not. Let's see. Actually, a piece of reflective tape. So I think you could stick that maybe on the can and use it for a. I think the plan is, or at least the contention is, you can use that for signaling. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think it's going to work very well. I mean, my experience, shiny, yeah, you can get a flash from it, but I don't know how far you can see it and if you're going to be able to really direct it. I would recommend, if you need a signal mirror, to get a really good signal mirror, even a small one. It's under $10. but you can get one that really works good, Star Flash or something like that. I think they're called Star Flash. But in a pinch, that will at least make a flash, maybe get somebody's attention. I got 2 nails, which something most people don't think about, but that's really a good idea. The nails are a good idea. I kind of like that. You can just use those. That could be the thing that you really need to finish off a shelter or something like that. And then there's a couple of fish hooks. I'm not sure what size they are. They're kind of small. Let's see if it says what size they are. Just 2 fish hooks. In addition, you have a little container here that you could use to boil water in. As silly as that sounds, it's small, but you could put water in it to boil it and purify it. And so that's cool. So let's see if this thing, now we're going to soak. It's already open. I'm not going to keep it for survival, obviously. We got a fire starter here. Let's just see, and a strike anywhere match. Let's just see if this thing will strike anywhere and start a fire. So this is a wax match. So probably what you're going to want to do is rub the wax off of it. Although that might have helped it burn longer. Oh, look at that, look at that. Started anywhere. And the fire starter actually works. All right, so that right there could be the difference between life and death, literally. As silly as that sounds, just having a little fire starter, that little piece of fire starter right there. If things are kind of cool, or things are kind of wet and moist, that can make a huge difference in your survival. So, what else was there anything else we needed to check out here? The fire starter, the compass works. We checked the fire starter, we tried the matches. They're Band-Aids, they're not Band-Aids brand, but they're bandages. Altogether, you know, it'd definitely be better than nothing. There's no doubt about that. It might be better than some other things you could carry. This fire starter is a pretty great idea. So, oh no, fish hook, not good, not good. Okay, so I dumped the fish hook here. I really need to find that so I don't step on it barefooted out here. Okay, so I lost one of my fish hooks. All right, so that was a survival kit in a can. So what do I think about that? Well, I was really pleasantly surprised. Again, I kind of figured it'd be really cheesy, crappy stuff. Honestly, it looks like the stuff that's in here is useful. It's not going to be the greatest thing in the world. It's obviously not perfect. You can't have everything in here. But I like the fire starters. They work. Those little fire starters, they work. The candy especially is a really good idea. Everything in here seems to be more well made than I thought it would be. I'll put it that way. Would I trust my life to this? Man, I would hate to have to. I'll be honest with you. But that's why I try to make sure that I've got some stuff with me at all times. And I've got my knife with me at all times. And I've got other things that I might need, a good metal container and other things. But honestly, any kind of survival kit, any kind of gear is only as good as the knowledge and skill that you have to use it with. So I guess my encouragement to you would be, sure, get one of these little things or a different kind or whatever. There's other ones that I'm gonna be doing a review on soon. You can try one, keep it with you. It's not gonna hurt to have those extra little items. It's just a neat little package that you can have a lot of little things that you might not think about, might come in handy with you. But don't make that your entire kit. Don't make that the only thing you've got to fall back on. Carry a good knife with you, a good source of fire with you. A ferro rod's really my favorite thing. At least that, and at least a good water container with you. And those 3 things, and there's others, the other 10 C's as Dave Canterbury says, and all that are important. But at a minimum, fire, knife, and water. Those are your 3 big ones, in my opinion. So I hope this has been helpful. About 10, 12 bucks. The Coughlin's little survival kit in a tin. Pretty cool. In a can, maybe. Yeah, kit in a can. And pretty neat idea. It is sealed up, so it's going to be water resistant. It's got fire in it. It's got a little blade in it. You can even purify your water in the tin, which I think is a good idea. You can't do that in some of the pouch types. So, altogether, yeah, it's useful. Is it going to be the end all be all? Absolutely not, but it wouldn't hurt to grab one and stick it in your pack just for emergencies. Let's just go ahead and see how the candy is. That's going to be the deciding factor for me, because if the candy's no good, then, I mean, good grief, why even bother? Okay, they got this candy wrapped up tighter than Dick's hat band. And it's kind of got this hard candy with that kind of sticky feel. That's not a good thing. That's not a good sign. But just for you, man, I'd hate to even know what's in this candy. So, anyway, thanks for watching as always. Thanks for subscribing to Survival on Purpose. If you haven't done so, why not? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up below. Let Google know. If you'd like to support this channel, you can check out my Amazon store. I appreciate all your support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.